I want to share with you what I've been playing with in terms of AI. There's a saying, if you don't use AI, you get replaced by people who uses AI. I've been playing with this software. It's called Poppy AI. It's very fun, and it basically, all you need to know is that it has this giant board that you can use freely. The bone and the structure of it is this AI chat. And this is what it produced, the content that you want. And basically you feed it in here and you give the instructions in here. So let's say, because I just posted my morning post. It was a reel of Tom, like talking about like validating me and sharing his feeling with me about how consistent I am with my business. So this post, it did not get a lot of traction, which is fine, because sometimes like with this kind of post, I know like some of the posts that when I post, I know I'll get the like the tractions I want versus some that would just like have a low engagement. And the more that you post, the more you know like what kind of content would perform well. But I really like the captions I've written in here. So I'm going to repurpose in a way with this caption. I talk about how my ex, the one I thought I was going to marry, used to call me names and make me feel small. That was like the title. So what I had here right now is, so I feeded this with a previous content that I was trying to create, but and some of it is like I really like Brock Johnson's the way that he teaches how to grow on Instagram. So I have this here, and I recently came across Vanessa Lau. She talked about the effective way of Instagram carousel framework. So this is what I'm trying to post for my second post of the day is a carousel framework. It's a carousel. So I want to use the framework that she has. This is a live story that I recorded. I'm going to give a shout out to Camilla Markson. She's my dear friend, my online bestie. She taught me to basically record myself literally with Loom and talk about my life journey. This is a 30-minute video. Okay. And so what I did is literally, I just copy this Loom link, or actually this one, I copied it and I pasted it in here, and Poppy AI is supposed to read it. Okay. However, I tried it earlier. It says that it wasn't able to read because the file was a bit too slow. I think, here we go. Okay. However, I tried to access the live story from the Loom link. It shows the Loom is running a bit slower. And then it asked me a bunch of questions. I'm like, I don't want to answer this. All I did was to go to Loom and I copy this transcript, and I go to Poppy and I added this text, which is this one, and I copied the entire thing. In case, and I typed, this is like a subtext for Poppy AI to read. In case Loom is not working, here is a live story. Okay, so like that's the follow-up I had. After that, I was like, oh, now can you read my life story? I just added a transcript. And they say, yes, I can now read your life story transcript. What an incredible journey you had, etc. So this is like what I loaded in terms of, I also have a few more text box, but you don't need to worry about that. I think this is my call to action for my weekly webinar. And then this is, this is just like basically about me. I technically do not need this because I have this, but what I want to show you that it created for me is a carousel idea. Okay. It's pretty mind blown. I don't know why it's not sharing anymore. Okay. It's pretty mind blown. And all I feed is this plus this reel that I had, that I posted today. I could technically move this in here, but whatever. Because my goal is that I have all these framework in here, my story. I could even add my customer avatar, my offer, and my social media. So this is what I want as a foundation and skeleton that AI knows about me. And I put this outside of this box is because this is not control. Okay, so this is control. This is the variable that, let's say I want to create a third reel of the day. I'm going to replace it with this, but with the same idea, but using the framework and the know-how about me in this group. Anyways, so now let's check this out. Okay, so now I asked for it to give me a carousel of that. All right, let's read from the top. Okay, slide 1. Okay, my ex broke up with me just so he could F around. subtext and said it didn't count as cheating. Here's what happened next. This is a very strong hook. All right. And I kind of had the back and forth with this because I know what is a hook that I want. So initially it gave me a hook that wasn't that impressive. Let's see. It was like, oh no, this is what it gave me too. That I trained it after that. But it was like, the day I stopped waiting for someone to choose me, everything changed. Here's what I learned, which is fine. But I think that this hook, it's better, what I have here. So in this slide 2, settling becomes your comfort zone. I was settling in my relationship, my job, my life. When you accept less than you deserve in one area, it bleeds into everything else. Your standard drops across the board. Okay. And then slide 3, rock bottom is your launch pad. Being called names, manipulated or undervalued at work, sometimes you need to hit rock bottom to realize you deserve much more. And then the transition, turning point, and then I lost my job. And I talk about how I lost my job, and that forced me to become the failure I felt became my freedom, something like that. Building something of your own changes everything. The moment I decided to bet on myself instead of waiting for validation, doors I couldn't even see before started opening. Your confidence grow, etc. Success isn't just about money. Yes, gain financial freedom, but I also gain unshakable confidence, supportive life partners, the person I never thought I could become. Key takeaway, here's the truth. You don't need permission to choose yourself. Sometimes what feels like biggest failure is actually your biggest breakthrough and waiting to happen. All right, CTA, and this is the CTA I have, which it knows my CTA right here. So this is using the Vanessa Carousel framework that I found. I literally just go on YouTube and copy that link on here. What I need to do next, okay, is just literally copy this entire thing into Canva. I go to Canva and I go to the template Carousel Instagram post. Because this is a bit targeting more women, because I talk about my ex, how he made me feel small. This is kind of cool. So I could either use something like this or something more simple. Okay. So let me pause this screen and I'm going to decide which to choose, and then I'll show you the end result. I just want to share with you quickly what I chose. I just picked a template and I found some pictures from Snapchat actually, and I just kind of blurred out the images, and I'll replace this to my own pictures. I want to show you what I've been working on. So I love this header it gave me, and the title and the text. Okay. So I literally just copy the title and the text. So this is the title and this is the text, and I did not like copy everything. So like I did not add, here's what happened next. I just had this. What I noticed is that each page, it did not, so for example, like it did not really sound like me. Like for example, rock bottom is your launching pad. I still want this carousel to talk about me, and then I slowly convert it to my audience. And then I lost my dream. Okay, never mind. Being called names, manipulated, undervalued. Sometimes you need to hit rock bottom to realize you deserve so much more. Pain can be your greatest teacher. So it's not bad, but I want to see what else can it give me and make it more personalized. So this, I'm gonna type to Poppy, and you know what? I can even talk to Poppy. Kazi, the one of the founder of Poppy AI, he loves talking to Poppy. I don't know where it is, but I'm just going to type it. I think usually there is this one that you can just talk to it. Actually, let's just give this a shot. So the slides you gave me was pretty good, but I wanted to apply more to my personal story. And what I mean by that is that, for example, in slide 2 title, you mentioned that settling becomes your comfort zone. I don't like how it's sounding that way. I want it to be like settling becomes my comfort zone. I was settling in my relationship, my job. That's fine. But then later on, we can transitioning it to more towards my audience. Let me see what you get. Boom. Okay. Let me see what you got. Updated carousel. My ex broke up, so that's good. Okay. I was settling everywhere. I was settling in my relationship, settling in my job that didn't value me, settling for a little. Okay, so I'm gonna work with this for now. I just recorded another voice note to tell what to do. Okay, this is good. I just thought about something. How about if we add something like being in a toxic relationship? Sometimes you don't realize how toxic it is until you got out of the relationship. Same thing as being in a job that did not value you. You do not realize how undervalued you are until you got out of a job. Play around with that word, but I definitely want to include it within these slides. Okay, I see it now. I included in the slide 7. Here's what I learned. Sometimes you need distance to see the truth. The toxic relationship, that job didn't value you. You couldn't see it clearly from the inside. You're recognizing your worth. So slide 6 here about my success. Now I have everything I dream of. Financial freedom, a 6-bedroom house with pool, but most importantly, Tom who supports me. I think this is a bit cliche. So that's what I wrote. Can you make it more captivating, better copy? I feel like I could give a better prompt, but let's see what it gives. Your success, the girl who settled now has it all. Okay, I love that. From crying over a man. Ooh, I love that. Building a business that bought us. Oh, I am taking this. I'm taking this. Slide 8 here is a call to action slide. I normally do not like in my call to action. I don't want to tell people, hey, if you're ready, or like, are you ready to choose yourself? Are you ready to learn a new way to make money online? Like, I don't want to say that. I want to see what copy can spit out for me. Okay, give me a couple options. Your turn to choose yourself. I like that. Time to stop settling. This could be your turning point. Okay, I'm going to go with this one. So here's the final outcome. I'm just going to go through slide by slide. My ex broke up with me just so he could F around and said it didn't count as cheating. Settling becomes my comfort zone. I was settling in my relationship, settling my job that didn't value me, settling for a life that felt way too small. I didn't even realize how low my standards had become. I hit my rock bottom, being called names, manipulated, feeling heartbroken. I was working 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. for a company that didn't care about me. Sometimes you need to feel completely broken to wake up. Then I lost my dream job after 3 years of sacrificing everything. A company that promised to sponsor my green card, they let me go anyway. That's when I finally saw how little they value me all along. And by the way, all these stuff was from this, okay, my life story. This is the transcript of this Loom. If you wasn't able to read the Loom, it will be able to read here. I have to like tell it specifically though. Like, oh, if you're not able to read my life story from my Loom, you remember you can read this. And then I decided to bet on myself. The day I stopped waiting for someone to choose me and started building something of my own, everything changed. The doors I couldn't even see before started opening. The girl who settled now has it all, from crying over a man who didn't value me to building a business that bought us a 6-bedroom house with a pool, from begging for time off to see my family to traveling 2 years straight with Tom besides me. The transformation still blows my mind. Here's what I learned. Sometimes you need distance to see the truth. That toxic relationship, that job didn't value you. You couldn't see it clearly from the inside. You're recognizing your worth. Your turn to choose yourself. I'm hosting a free training on how to start your online journey, even without experience or followers. Come and choose me to secure your spot. Live bonuses, surprises for attendees. So I thought this was pretty good. What do you think? And it's a lot of it, it's already pre-built, the templates and everything. I feel like I could tweak a little bit more. I think the transition, it's a bit rough, so I definitely will play around with it. And I know this is going to get a lot of good engagement because, number one, this is a carousel post. So carousel, just remember that with the post like carousel, most of the time your followers will see it rather than non-followers, because when you post reels, then that will be on the explore page. Carousel, I don't think it will be explore page. Most of the time this is my nurture kind of content for my existing followers, and it has like all these pictures. Like, you can tell this is like all these pictures. And I talk about, I have a really strong hook. So we'll see how this engaged, to be honest. We'll see how this engagement is at the end, but I have a really good feeling about this. And you know what I can do next even? This. So I said, this is great. I've completed a carousel. Now write a heartwarming and compelling caption for this carousel for me. I wanted to focus on do not settle message and something like sometimes you have to be the outsider in order to see your worth, etc. So literally, like, this is a really crappy prompt, but Poppy is so smart that it understood everything, because I don't know if I showed you, like it incorporate Claude, ChatGPT 03, ChatGPT 40, 4.1, Gemini, like everything. Okay. So let's see. When you're in the middle of toxic relationship, you can't see how small they're making. Sometimes you have to step outside what you're really worth, and that's a good hook. But here's the thing about being an outside looking in. Suddenly everything becomes crystal clear. I spent years accepting crumbs when I deserved a whole meal. I thought love meant being called names. Oh, so good. I thought career success meant sacrificing my soul for the company that saw me as a disposable. Oh my gosh. It wasn't until I lost everything I thought I wanted to, I realized that what I actually deserved. The relationship that ended it, I made a space for Tom, a man who celebrates my wins instead of diminishing them. The job that let me go, it forced me to bet on myself and build something that gave us freedom to travel for 2 years and buy our dream home. Sometimes what feels like rejection is actually redirection. Sometimes when it feels like failure, it's actually freedom. Sometimes you have to become the outsider to finally see your worth from the inside. If you're reading this, something feels off, oh my gosh, in your life, I trust that feeling. You're not asking for too much. You're not being dramatic. You deserve more than settling. Your breakthrough is waiting on the other side of your comfort zone. Don't settle, beautiful. The life you're meant is calling your name. Swipe to see everything change. Okay, I can probably take this out, replace it to my call to action. Do you now see the power of AI? Again, this is Poppy AI. And I can't say anything more than this. Like this is a incredible way to basically collect any framework that you've seen that's working very well on other creators, any creators that you like how they post on social media, and like your personal story, your framework, your customer avatar, like anything that you want to include. Sometimes I would even like post some of my viral content in here so that it could recreate like that, some sort of virality and the kind of prompts inside. I hope this is helpful. Let me know if there's anything you want me to do specifically. I'm going to use this to create more content. I'm going to share more of this.
It has been 3 days since we posted that carousel. Let's take a look at the insights. And as you can see at the bottom here is 3 days ago I posted this carousel. When you look at the insights, you'll see that I have 1.5 thousand likes, 351 comments, 100 shares, and 508 saves. So that's pretty good. Like people probably connected with this, people relate with this, people share with their friends and family and followers. I have 98 point. I have over 98,000 views, to over 2,000 interactions, profile activity over close to 2,000 profile activity. As you see the views, I have more followers views than non-followers. 99.3% that has view that are my followers and 0.7% are non-followers, which makes sense because when it comes to carousels or posts, usually it's only shown to my followers and it's not being shown on explore page, because when you scroll on explore page, most of the time you do not see like a carousels or posts. It's usually reels. So this makes sense because this is like a nurturing content. I wasn't trying to post to gain followers. And so, yeah, let's scroll down a little bit more. Same thing as interactions because there's more followers seeing this. That's why I have more interactions from followers compared to non-followers. The only reason that non-followers are seeing this is probably because my followers are sharing this on their stories, sending it to their audience. And profile activity is something that I like to look at as well. Profile visits, that means like when people come to land on my carousel post, this post specifically, how many people look at my profile. Same thing as external link taps, like how many people are tapping my link in bio or my other links in my stories. And then the follows is like I only gained 1 follower from this carousel post, which again, my intention of posting this wasn't about gaining followers. It's all about nurturing my audience.